Hi everybody, my name is Christin, roginski. With this weekend being the 4th of July weekend, all the news stations are playing their Ignorant America little news clips. They go around asking people basic questions about United States history and government, most of which can't answer. It's a little sad, and it's not very good indication of the American psyche, where no one really understands or knows much about the American history or government anymore. If you'll just bear with me for just a short moment, I will show you an example of what I'm talking about.
Who did America fight in the Revolutionary War?
The French? No. China.
China?
Wow, I feel really dumb. Was it the French?
Who won the Civil War?
Not the Confederates. The Northeast or whatever. Us.
Who's us?
Great Britain. Wasn't it the French?
What was the Civil War about?
Couldn't be able to tell you.
No idea.
Of course not.
You should know.
I know, right?
Abraham Lincoln. What did he do? Was he in the North or the South?
He was in the South.
He was in the North.
No, but he wasn't. Didn't he live in the South?
Who bombed us in Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
Was it China?
China?
I don't know.
Close.
Korea, right?
No, I'm thinking Korea.
Not Korea.
No. Russia? No.
Not Russia.
Wow.
I feel stupid. This is terrible.
So, every time I see these, every Memorial Day or 4th of July or Labor Day, it breaks my heart because as a U.S. history major, I would hope that the education system of America would want to instill this knowledge in their citizens, but sadly, apparently they don't. With surveys done by universities across the nation, it's been proven that most United States citizens couldn't pass the citizenship test the United States government requires of foreigners to take to become an American citizen. I hope by the end of this I have managed to bring a little bit of attention to the ignorance of the general American public. According to the Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning and Engagement, 9 states out of 50 require their high school graduates to pass a social studies class in order to graduate. 9 out of 50. That's not good. The Federalist website, which is pretty much a New Age version of the Federalist Papers that went around during the time of the Revolution, brings attention to the fact that U.S. history and social studies in general aren't given as exit exams in most high schools in order to graduate. They bring attention to the fact that the thought process may be because with the way society is today, moving toward a more technical age, they may not deem the past as necessary as it really is. They're replacing irreplaceable knowledge with information that they deem is more necessary, like computer science and things like that. The University of Pennsylvania did a survey of American citizens, 36 of whom could name all 3 branches of the federal government. 35% couldn't name even one. 38% of the people they had, American citizens, mind you, who they had take this survey, Newsweek, the magazine, they did a little study. They had 1,000 United States citizens take the citizenship test, the same test that they require foreigners to take to become a citizen. 38% failed. 29% couldn't name who the vice president is. 73% couldn't tell you what the Cold War was actually fought about, or what the Cold War was, or that we even had one. 44% couldn't explain what the Bill of Rights were, what their purpose was, and why they were included in the Constitution. 6% couldn't find Independence Day on a calendar. They all know it is 4th of July. They don't understand that it's Independence Day. In September 2014, Civics Education Initiative, or CEI, tried to pass legislation in 7 states, Arizona, Louisiana, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, and Utah, that would require students trying to graduate from high school to take the citizenship test before they could graduate. Why they only did it in 7 states, I don't know. But those are the 7 they picked. And they hope that by 2017 they can make this a nationally recognized requirement. And 2017 is also the 230th anniversary of the signing of the Constitution. I think doing something like that would be extremely beneficial to the American public in general. I think it would bring attention to a nation's history and past that has one of the most rewarding pasts, in my opinion. I think it would also put pressure on the education systems of the states of the country to put more attention on the social studies and the histories that they teach in high school, but then don't think is important enough to put on exit exams. That is probably the best solution in my opinion, but something that may be a little bit more manageable is to enforce U.S. history and social studies classes in high schools across the nation. Make it a requirement that they pass this class to graduate high school. Telling teachers that it isn't important enough to put on your exit exams or to require students to pass in order to graduate is just not a solution. Even with these solutions and suggestions, the American, as a whole, general public ignorance of our history is completely embarrassing to America as a country. When I become a U.S. history teacher, it will be my job to ensure that my students understand the history of the United States, understand why it's important, know how valuable it is, and pass, so that when they become adults and contributing members of society, they understand why it is that America is the way it is. It's just not enough to know that 4th of July means parties. It's not enough. People in charge can try to blame others. They can try to blame teachers. They can try to blame the high schools. And they can even go as far to try and blame the federal government. But even they're not to blame entirely. It's up to each individual citizen to want to be knowledgeable of their past. We all come from different places. There's not very many Native Americans in the country. They're severely outnumbered. Most of us come from foreign families who moved here. And it's wonderful to know that past. And most people can tell you more about their foreign past than they can their American past. And you need your citizens to be proud enough to put forth the effort and energy to learn these things. So I hope I brought attention to something that really bugs me every 4th of July. And I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th of July weekend.